This government meeting is brought to you by Eastworks and our local cable subscribers.
All right, welcome everyone to the Board of Public Works meeting for March 6, 2024. I'll make a motion to open this evening's meeting.
I second.
Okay. Thomas Mulberry?
Yes.
Steve Litwin?
Yes.
All in favor, motion carries.
All right, item number 1 on the agenda is public speak. We have no one that wishes to speak on anything not on the agenda. Item number 2, we're not expecting the mayor to join us this evening.
No, we are not.
All right. Item number 3, approval of the February 21st, 2024 meeting minutes. Were you able to review what Michelle sent out?
I did.
Any issues with it? All right, myself included, I will make a motion to approve the minutes as prepared.
That's second.
Thomas Mulberry?
Yep.
Steve Litwin?
Yes.
All in favor, motion carries.
All right, on to item number 4. We're continuing our discussion of the DPW fee schedule updates and the water sewer base rates for FY 25 and 26. There's not really any new information on that other than I cleaned up everything we talked about for the last few meetings. Michelle included it with our packet, and it's nothing we haven't seen before. I just put it all on one page, put a table of what the base fees we're gonna go to public hearing with are, just so they're clear and we all understand what we're proposing. Those are the same ones that were presented in previous meetings. And then the next 2 pages are, we had gotten a document from the water department of marked up fees and regulations. So I just pulled them all out because it was sort of a narrative, and lined them up with the sections of the sewer, wastewater, and water regulations. And made a list with the current fee and the proposed fee that we're going to be sending to public meeting, or to the public hearing, I should say. So I have additional ones if anybody else would like a copy. I think it should be in the packet.
Yeah, it's in your packet.
That's
That's it, right there.
So this is the cleaned up historic and proposed fees. And as I walk through, most of these have not been updated since 2003. So, and it does look like the board in 2014 did do some updates to the sewer, wastewater, and water regulations. It seemed like all those were the 24. There was updates in 2006 when they set other rates, 2007, and then 2014, but there were more regulatory changes for stormwater permits and stuff like that. So the bulk of these fees are 20 years old. So I'm comfortable with the proposed fees the water department had set that are sort of more modern and in line with the expenses of doing the work.
How do they compare with other communities?
Let me see. I have that in the packet. So this was the marked up version that we got from the water department last month or last meeting. So the ones with the larger increases are the what they call entrance fees for connecting new services to water and sewer. For individual properties, they had historically been $1,250 for individual properties and $2,500 for subdivision layouts. They've been proposed to go to $3,000 for individual property and $5,000 for subdivisions. As said, for some background, Southampton currently charges $3,700 for water Amherst charges $2,000 for each, $4,000 total, and does not do the work. All work must be done by private contractors and paid for by the homeowners. Current estimate start at $6,000 and go up from there. Altogether, fees would be $10,000 plus, where we're looking for $6,000 to $10,000, depending on the property size. South Hadley charges $2,000 for water, $1,375 for sewer. You then have to pay the water department's time and materials to do the work on top of the fee, typically $6,000 to $8,000. Sewer must be installed by a private contractor for an additional expense to the homeowner, again totaling above $10,000. Northampton rates have just changed from $625 to $5,000. Again, work must be done by a private contractor on top of the fee. That rate can easily approach and surpass $10,000. So our $6,000 to $10,000 is pretty comparable to what other areas are charging in the area. But our fee includes work done by the DPW. So
One-stop shopping.
yeah, and also it's most all these are in line just to meet modern expenses and the rates that are agreed with for the work for the employees. Only other big change was, what section was it? So in the document, section 579, part J, filling of swimming pools. Historically, that had been overtime. It was always done after hours, so paid an overtime rate plus the water and sewer consumption charges. Greg has requested that we remove that as a service provided by the DPW, just because of long-term issues they've had with doing that, disturbing the water system for large volume draw from hydrants, resulting in nuisance complaints from residents. So that was the only major alteration. Other than that, yeah, it's mostly just modernizing fees from basically to cover time of employees doing the works or inspections. So that was the bulk of it. Again, it was all information we've been provided before, but just try to clean it up into one document for
Nice job.
one document for the base fees, which are technically, you'll see in the document, 579 subsection R is quarterly service charges, but we're moving those forward as two separate entities because we're doing 2 fiscal years. So yeah, the base fee is on one page, and then the regulation fee updates are in the attached table. Any input on that from you or public? Okay. Like I said, it's not something we're trying to make a profit center. It's all just to cover materials and expenses incurred by the DPW doing the work. So,
Just to keep in line with what's out there.
oh yeah. This will become part of our more regular review of fees and rates and stuff moving forward. If there's any other discussion on that?
No.
All right, then I'm going to propose that these are the rates and fees we send to the public hearing on March 20th.
Second.
Thomas Wolfberry,
Yes.
Steve Litwin,
Yes.
motion all in favor.
All right. Item number 5, brush dump and Oliver Street recycling drop-off center fees discussion. So when I had Greg and his crew, looking at this to sort of update these fees, it came to light that the fees charged for dump stickers and the disposal costs at the drop-off centers have not been looked at or adjusted since at least 2013. So Greg did a quick analysis and shows that we Currently, it costs approximately $16,000 to operate the recycling center and dump. And we currently sell between an average of 375 stickers at $30, which only recoups $11,250 of that expense. To cover the cost, Greg has requested that the vehicle sticker fee be adjusted to $50 for the first vehicle, up from $30, and $10 for the second vehicle, up from $5. He's also requested updates to the fees for dropping off items such as refrigerators, freezers, stoves. And that's outlined in the letter, which is attached to the packet and will be in the notes and minutes. I had no issue with what he proposed. Again, it's just modernizing the fees to cover the expenses that the DPW incurs to operate the service. So we also have one of these if you need. Any issues or discussion on that, or?
The only issue I have, slight issue, is something we discussed in the past, is where if it will go up, I know it's going to add probably to the cost, but if they could extend the length of time for the dump to be open. You know, I can understand the first snowstorm, but the last couple of years, I think we still could have been dumping to the end of the year, and maybe do something where maybe after November 30th, maybe once a month, or something like that. If we could do something like that, and not because I got caught doing leaves, and so did several others, and I think it would be helpful if we could do that. So if we're going to increase it, let's also look at the other side of the coin too, and how could we be helpful to Joe Public as well?
Yeah, no, I agree. I think we discussed that previously. You know, we can get Greg's input on that if we currently, it's open through November or
Through November.
So
It's closed December, January, and February, March. And it's open every weekend or every Saturday.
Yeah.
In April and May, and in October and November every Saturday.
Correct. And then the other ones, it's twice a month. The
Yes.
other months it's open is twice a month.
Twice a month, correct.
Yeah,
Yep.
I mean,
And
maybe
it's charged as an overtime fee for pay. So
for the guys.
it's time and a half. It's not regular time, so.
Yeah,
So it does incur a charge. And we have 2 guys that work there,
yeah.
so.
Yeah, we can definitely add to the discussion with Greg, a month on either end, once a month or something, you know, because the seasons are stretched out a little more than they historically had been.
I still have a bag of leaves from November. It's still sitting there in my front yard.
Would that be a stoppage for you for moving this forward to the public hearing, or?
No.
Okay.
No.
And if
Talking to Greg is fine.
yeah, I think that's something we can work out, or at least discuss and see if there's a reason why that's not feasible. But even as it stands with the schedule that they are open, this adjustment's required to cover the existing fees and overtime that we incur operating it. All right. Well, if there's no other issues or discussion, I will make a motion to move Greg's proposed rates for recycling center and dump brush sticker fees to the public hearing.
I second that.
Okay, Thomas Salisbury,
Yes.
Steve Whitman,
Yes.
all in favor, motion carries.
All right. Did Greg leave us anything for item number 6 for
He
the
did
director's
not.
report?
Yeah, we hadn't heard back from Ludlow Construction as
On there.
of yet, so
Okay.
he's hoping that they'll be back in touch on Monday, so.
Okay. Well, we will
the
save his
countdown-
update for
The countdown's on for construction season.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, then if that concludes this evening's meeting, or if anybody wants to retouch on any topics we discussed, I'd be happy to entertain it. All right, then I will make a motion to close this evening's meeting.
I second.
Thomas Salisbury,
Yes.
Steve Whitman,
Yes.
all in favor, motion carries. Next meeting will be March 20th at 5 PM.
This government meeting is brought to you by Eastworks and our local cable subscribers.